Hey, howdy, hey. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be reviewing RuPaul's Drag Race Season 10, Season 18, Episode 10. So if that sounds good to you, make sure to hit that like button. Comment down below what you think about this video. And hit that subscribe button to become part of the Samachara community. Ding! You can also follow me on my other social media platforms at Samateur Hour on all platforms. Do not send hate to any of the queens mentioned in these videos, because that is not what these are meant for. These are meant for us to have a fun time over here on this side of the interwebs, talk about all things Drag Race, and have a cute little kiki. So, with that all being said, we are gonna get right into this episode. I do also want to say, baby, this was a spicy episode. This was a fun episode. And this episode had some drama. The queens were waking it up. Dying to know what happened. Viola screaming got. Oh. No. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, since we're here, and if I'll go and tell you, Jane Don't won the episode. Jane Don't won the winner of the episode. Congratulations to Jane Don't. Again, we will get to that as well in the episode review. I do also want to say, before we do get into this review, Discord did not do the assignment. Discord did not do the assignment. The safety pins were not in the basket. You did not do the assignment. That made me so heated. That made me heated. We'll get into it, because, baby, I was mad. And then I am so glad all the girls ended up, like, talking about it on the main stage and saying it in front of the judges. Because, like, the judges were like, oh, this is a work of art. This is fashion. This is everything. She didn't do the assignment. I was mad. Like, she was like, oh, well, it's not an embellishment because it's being used to hold the fabric together. If it gets to the point of where the garment is majority of materials not from the box, it is no longer doing the assignment. The garment is materials out of that. Anyways, we're gonna get into this because, baby, I'm mad. Alright. Episode starts out with the queens coming back in the workroom after the elimination of Athena Dion. So, I was sad to see Athena go. I definitely felt like it could have been Kenya who went. I also think it could have been Discord. I do think Discord... Wait, no, not Kenya. Sorry, it's the Ruth goal. I do think the bottom two should have been Athena and Discord, and Juicy should have been safe. Yep. Alright. So, Athena's gone. People are sad. Right? Juicy's teaching Greek. Sure. They're congratulating Jane Don't because she got her second win. Do y'all agree Jane Don't won the challenge? I've seen a lot of people online saying that Mikey Meeks should have won the challenge. What do y'all think? I want to hear from you. I am happy Jane won the challenge. I do think Jane has been continuously doing well in this competition. And I also think there's been a lot of online frustration with Jane Don't, and I don't really understand it. Because it seems like, to me, it seems like there is some strange conspiracy, I don't know what the word is, of people not liking Jane Don't, and I don't get it. But I'm not one of those people. Whew. Anyways, congratulating Jane Don't. Jane is very happy being recognized with a win. Kenya was in the top. Very happy for Kenya, making it a new wave in the competition, especially after being in the bottom. Yeah. I need to go to the restroom, and I will be right back. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself. I apologize. Back, and yes, I do need hold music. That is something I should look into. I don't know if StreamYard has hold music. I will definitely look into that. They might. They probably do. Anyways, Kenya was in the top. Yay, Kenya. Happy she was in the top. Happy she's making new waves in the competition. Again, I am a Kenya pleaser stan, so I was very happy Kenya is making waves, especially after being in the bottom and everything. Whew. Okay. So Kenya's in the top. Yay, Kenya. Moving forward. Discord. Discord should have been in the bottom. I agree. And I think it was interesting that she was saying, well, no, I was just safe. If you were safe, you would have been called safe. You were not safe. So thus, you were low. Do not make up this, nah, I was safe. Bullshit. Anyways. Let me know if my sound is working. I think it is, but I just want to make sure. New day in the workroom. Yeah. All right. This week, the queens had to do a mini challenge, which was the reading challenge. I thought it was a fun reading challenge. I enjoyed it. I think the queens did well. There were definitely some standouts and some queens who didn't do as well. I definitely think Juicy struggled, and that was a kind of Juicy. I think gives up before she even starts in a challenge like this. In my opinion, she kind of gave up immediately and then continued on, which kind of frustrates me as a viewer because I'm like, why are you giving up? I don't know. Like, she doesn't even try. She's just like, well, I'm going to fail anyway, so why even try? Okay. I think overall, everyone else did okay. I think Mikey definitely did very well. I think Jane was hilarious. I think you could have made an argument that Jane don't won the reading challenge. So I enjoyed Mikey's reads. The Kenya one didn't feel super specific to Kenya. Like calling her the Yellow Brick Road, I get it, because brick, I get that. But how does that connect to Kenya? Is Kenya like a Wizard of Oz stand? I agree. Kenya's fallen, or Juicy's fallen off the bandwagon. I agree. It feels to me that Mikey's jokes weren't necessary. They were funny. I don't think they were personalized to the queen specifically. There was no double back, if that makes sense. Like calling Kenya a brick, sure, but how does Wizard of Oz connect to Kenya? If you aren't gonna have the joke connect to them personally, and it's just a joke that it could have been for anybody, to me, those aren't as strong as like the ones Jane did. For me. For me. Again, let me know what you thought down below. I was happy that Mikey won. Spoiler alert, Mikey won. But I think Jane could have won the mini challenge. Jane's I thought were more funny. And I thought Mikey's were funny too. Again, I just don't necessarily think all of them were specified for the individual queen. Jane, Mikey Meeks wins the mini challenge. Congratulations. Then they are bringing the suitcases back of the eliminated queens. Apparently, all 14 queens had to pack fabric to bring back for a sewing challenge, and a lot of the queens ended up assuming that this was going to be some sort of twist where another queen gets it. So they tried to sabotage someone, which I thought was interesting. Yeah, I thought this was interesting. Was it the most exciting? Not necessarily, but yeah, I thought it was interesting. Sorry, I need to turn my volume off. I want to, because sometimes I feel like the comments aren't loading on StreamYard. Maybe y'all aren't commenting, but I feel like they should be commenting. Anyways, okay. Yeah. So they have to pick the suitcases of an eliminated queen, use their fabric to create a party design garment. So the queens pick out their suitcases. Mikey goes first. I think Mikey picked out who didn't Briar. Mikey picked out Briar, and then so on and so forth. Mikey got to pick who went next, and right, that's how the rest of it shook out. Cool challenge. Love this sabotage effect. Yeah, I thought it was a fun challenge. I thought it was clever. I thought it was well done. Production was, I think, did a really great job this episode. Especially with the asking who should go home and why. I thought that was hilarious. So Jane opens her suitcase for Crystal. No, not Crystal. Oh my god, Sierra. They were calling her Crystal. So Jane opens Sierra's suitcase and sees a bunch of fabric and is like, ooh, it's like a fabric store. Only to realize all of the fabrics have holes in them. Right? Darlene opens Athena's basket only to realize she only has basically one piece of fabric. This is where the sabotage comes in. Crystal, lol. Listen, I'm tired. It's been a long week. So essentially, a couple nights ago, I ended up waking up at 4:30 a.m. And I feel like I haven't recovered since then. So I'm going a little Delulu. This was the fabric Jane ended up getting from Sierra. A bunch of cut up fabric with giant holes in them. This is where the sabotage was. I thought this was crazy. People are starting to put together the garments, making plans. This is where Discord ended up with Mandy's suitcase because she was the last one to pick, right? Hello? And this is where the gears started turning for Discord, and she started making plans, which, in my opinion, went against the challenge. She asked for a clarification because they brought it up. They brought it up with the safety pins, asking about embellishments versus using it to actually hold the garment together, which would have been different. The problem is when you start to use too many safety pins to the point of where the garment becomes more safety pin than fabric. And you're thus not embracing the actual challenge of using the fabric from the queen that you were given. We'll get to it later. These are all the queens inside the fabric from Sierra. A few safety pins I could see. Yes. Over 800. That was crazy. I'm like, at that point, just wear a safety pin garment and say fuck the challenge. I'm sorry. YouTube is probably not happy with me right now saying those words, but whatever. Alright, RuPaul comes in, and then this is an important point I wanted to point out. Because Rubu gets to see the fabric that Jane was given, right? From Sierra. So she's able to see all the holes in it. And she's able to kind of see all the work that Jane actually had to put in to creating the garment. So, this is also contributing to the full story of Jane coming in with like fabric that had a bunch of holes in it, creating a whole new fabric and using that new fabric to win the challenge. Everyone's going through their ideas. Kenya's talking about how she wants to do in this. She's doing a bell-bottom jumpsuit. Bell-bottom jumpsuit? Catsuit? Anyways, Kenya's telling Rue what she wants to do. Rue's like, are you sure you're going to be able to do all that? Because you've struggled in some of the previous design challenges. Which was interesting. I don't know. I did think there was a lot of storyline for Kenya in this episode, which is fair. I mean, she was in the top, you know. Juicy is coming up, and also even here, I felt like Juicy was a little giving up. Like, Rue told her she wants to see her in pads, essentially. Rue's like, give us body. Where the boobs? Where the boobs, Juicy? Because Juicy has not been giving boobs. Juicy's giving flat chest, which is fine. But I think sometimes when you're on RuPaul's Drag Race, they want to see you give, like, va-va-voom, which is fine. I don't know. I'm getting a little annoyed with the flat chest. Discord also has a moment with Rue involving her walk, talking about safety pins. They're going a little Delulu, talking about all the queens, and then there's a queen that they made up named Crystal, which I think was just Jane messing up Sierra's name, which I thought was funny. Yeah, new day. Let's just kind of cut to the runways because there's not too much to discuss. Oh wait, no, there is one thing I want to discuss. We find out that Darlene has a degree in style and fashion. Also, this is the point I was talking about earlier. When your garment is more safety pin than actual fabric, and you are not actually sewing the fabric, which was the entire purpose of the challenge, you're not doing the challenge. This was crazy. Darlene has a fashion degree. That's crazy. Darlene has a fashion degree. What did y'all think about this discovery that Darlene had a fashion degree? That was crazy to me. That was like, what? The biggest gag of the season. Anyways, that was funny. It was funny. And then they all started putting on these not great wigs and walking around. Sure, it's fun. It was cute. I love these fun moments. Especially when you're getting down to the top 7, you're going to have more of these moments, more of these fun. Wild, right? Right? But hey, shout out Darlene. I'm becoming a Darlene Mitchell stan too. I love Darlene this season. Oh my god. All right, RuPaul. We on the Sandwich Hour channel. We play a game called Fab or Drab. Cause baby, if it's Fab, you give it a Fab, and if it's Drab, I mean, need to explain further. Up first, we have RuPaul. I'm giving Ru a Fab. I thought this was very pretty, very simple. I do wish the hair was. I don't know. The hair Ru has been wearing this season has not been the best. I have heard that she doesn't necessarily have a wig stylist this season. I do wish they could mend the relationship with Delta with Delta Work so that they could actually get some good hair. Because I think if Ru had like really good hair, it could just bring her outfits and her whole presentation to a whole new level. And I wish WoW and Delta had a better relationship and they didn't end it crappily, so that Delta could actually be Ru's wig stylist. Michelle, you look nice. Carson, you look nice. And then Iman is the guest judge, the supermodel. Iman. Gag. All right, let's get to the runway. Category is party. Party. Party, party, party. Up first, we have Darlene Mitchell. What do we think about Darlene's outfit? For me, I'm going to give it a Fab. I thought this was very well done. I like the silhouette she created. I love the colors. I love the way that she split it with the zebra. I think that was a very smart use with such limited fabric. And then stuffing the garment, which was kind of fierce. Kind of fierce. Kind of fierce. Loved 80s glamour. Fab, 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 fab to Darlene. Next. Oh, sorry, y'all. Darlene gets a fab. Darlene gets a fab. Yeah, Darlene looks very nice. Up next, we have Discord Adams. I love the outfit. It is not the challenge. You did not complete the challenge. You did not complete the prompt. You did not complete the assignment. You do not get to go past go. Go to rewind and start all over again. This is not the challenge. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go to jail. No. Not the assignment. Not the assignment. Not the assignment. Oh, what was that? What was that? Ah! Oh, that'll work. No, not what I want. Not what I want. That's what I want. Not the assignment. Say it with me. Not the. Oh my god. Discord. Drab looks like everything she's worn. Yeah. I don't know. It's not the assignment. And I'm annoyed with this whole Discord cam. I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of it, y'all. I am getting tired of it. And then being like, ha 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 ha. That walk is so funny. That does not keep someone safe. If someone has a shitty walk, at some point, this whole joking about it dies out. At some point, she needs to go home. Anyways, y'all, I didn't mean to come off this hot. I'm sorry. Whew. Up next, we have Juicy Love Dion. I thought Juicy looked nice. It was a fab. It I I've been saying this for a little bit. I understand not all drag queens need to have boobs. I get it. I'm a little tired of the flat chest. Fab, but I would have. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we're also at top 7. I also think it is important that they included in the edit RuPaul mentioning to her about padding and about, like, do you ever wear boobs? Do you ever give more hip? Because it sometimes feels like she's not wearing padding. She might wear a small bit of hip padding, but it's nice to show versatility and show that you can pad and can do that. Because sometimes I am a little tired of the flat chest. I'm sorry? She looks very pretty, though. Jane, don't. Jane ate it up. Jane ate it up. Especially if you look at where she started from. Jane ate it up. Do I think Jane should have won this challenge? I think you could make an argument that Kenya should have won the challenge, because then also you would have changed things up a little bit. Challenge win distribution wise, which could have been more interesting for the show. Because then you have another queen with a win going into the top 7, which then also brings into light more to Darlene and Discord. So I do think you could make an argument that giving Kenya the win would have been a more interesting choice. It's still a fierce garment, don't get me wrong. And it looks amazing, especially if you look at what she started with. But I I don't know. It's fierce. Nini Coco wearing out fabric from Didi Fuego. Yeah. Nini looks nice. I like it. It's fab. Not my favorite of the night, but it's fab. It's fab. Mikey Meeks wearing it's a ski party. Fabric from Briar Blush. What did we think of Mikey Meeks? What did we think of Mikey Meeks? I'm gonna give Mikey a fab. Was it my favorite look of the night? No, but was it a fab? Yes. Nini also blown away with what she turned out. Was nervous about the fabric. Mikey solid. Yeah, I agree. I think it was fab. I would say Mikey looks fab. Is it my favorite look of the night? No, but it's definitely solid. Solid, safe fab. Kenya pleaser. Kenya. Yes. Yes. This was so pretty, Kenya. This was so pretty. I was so happy for Kenya. Especially with the narrative that they're going with where like, oh, Kenya doesn't know how to sew, Kenya can't do this, Kenya can't do that. And for her to turn this out, Kenya looks fierce. Kenya had one of my favorite looks of the night. Kenya ate it up. I think you could make an argument that Kenya should have gotten the win. Alrighty, now it comes down to our favorite question of the season. Who should go home and why? All of the queens, except for Discord, say Discord. And this is where they bring up Discord using the safety pins to create her garment instead of the actual fabrics she was given. Discord says Darlene because Darlene hasn't won a challenge and has a similar track record to Discord. Everyone else after Discord says Discord. That means 6 out of 7 queens said your name. Juicy brought up the fact that your outfit was made out of outside materials and thus did not complete the assignment. And thus continued a onslaught of other queens saying, this was not the assignment, you did not complete the assignment. It was fierce. It was fierce. Fierce is fierce. Yeah. Everyone said Discord. Cut to Discord. She's heated. She's hot. She's angry. She's pissed. Oh, baby. Next week's episode is going to be spicy. I'm excited. Honestly, I think Discord could go home. Very easily. Very easily. Ultimately, RuPaul announces that they're doing a top 2 lip sync for the win. And the top 2 of the week are going to be Jane Don't and Kenya Pleaser. I stand by this. I think they could have done a top, just give me the win and give it to Kenya, and then have a bottom 2 lip sync between Discord and Juicy, sure, and just have Juicy send Discord home. Someone should have gone home. They didn't need to do this whole no one going home bullshit. Discord should have gone home. Why is it that now suddenly when Discord is on the bottom, they say, oh, we're doing it, no one go home? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense, production. I understand y'all are pulling tricks like it's Halloween. I get it. But baby, it should have been a win to Kenya, and Discord should have gone home. I think Jane did very well. But, hey, I don't know. Ultimately, they end up having a lip sync for the win, and they're lip syncing to Feels Like Another One by Patti LaBelle. What did we think of this lip sync? I thought it went well. I think Kenya was staying in one spot and delivering more in terms of the emotion. I think Kenya was also trying to prove to the judges that she knew the words because she was staying in one spot and trying to lip sync directly to the judges, whereas Jane was doing a little bit more to the song. So, I mean, it was a fun lip sync. I think RuPaul had a good time watching it. Ultimately, I do think you can make an argument that Jane won. I also think you could make an argument Kenya won. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Yeah. Ultimately, RuPaul's going to announce that Jane Don't is the winner, and Jane Don't has her 3rd challenge win at this point in the season. Y'all, Jane is a fierce competitor, and they better watch out. If Jane doesn't win this season, If Jane doesn't win this season, I'm gagged. I'm gagged. I'm gagged. Well, that brings us to the end of the episode because no one goes home. Yay! Y'all, they could have had Kenya get the win, split up the win distribution a little bit more, and also have Juicy lip sync against Discord and send Discord home. There you go. There's your storyline. There's your edit. I understand they're trying to fill out the episodes. I understand that they're trying to make the season last to bajillion years. I get it. I mean, think about it. We're at episode 10 and we're still at 7 queens, which means next week is episode 11, which means we're going to go down to 6. Episode 12, we're going down to 5. 13, we're going down to 4. 14, we're going down to 3? Is that math? Does that mean we're going to have a top 3? And then they usually do the Lollapalooza 15. And then 16 is a finale. Huh. I think that's how the rest of the season is going to... Yeah. Wonder if I don't think so. I think in terms of planning out the season, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, that brings me to the end of this review. Let me know what you think about all this down below in the comment section, especially post-review. It really helps me out in those algorithm streets. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Become part of the Sandwich Hour community. I will be back here next Friday with my season 18, episode 11 review. Friday night at 10 p.m. Let me know what else you want to see on this channel. I will be back later. Bye, y'all. Have a good rest of your night, your day, wherever you are. And I will see y'all later. Bye.